Hello, bienvenue. Wie geht's?
Hello, welcome everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Eleanor.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Jasmine.
Yes, she's been the evil girl today. I think whilst Purgasnacht got to her, she's went after Sugar when she got in here, then she went after Mander, then she went after me. She's
Oh no.
not, oh well, she's just having a boo rattly day.
Did you wake up on the wrong side of the perch this morning, Jasmine?
She definitely did. She was awake and alert at the perch and not acting like she was sleepy, which is unusual because usually in the morning she's, don't talk to me. It's morning. I'm not talking to you. Go away.
Maybe she
This
had
morning,
a nightmare or something.
I don't know, but she certainly was wound up this morning. Hi, Mander.
Poor Jess.
You got a Mander over my head. Let me see if I can switch the camera, which is a slow process. I hope they change this. I hit the wrong button. Oh no. Camera. By the time I get to the front camera, he'll move or something. Yeah, see, he did.
There he is. What a good boy.
You have, oh, look, Donna's a Malaccan cockatoo.
That's a nice feather on your head, Don. That's cute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have a
that's
crescent feather on your head.
yeah, that's from Jasmine. I put it there.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's snazzy.
She's been looking at me strange. That's my feather. Why is it on your head? Yeah, I know you're testy. You're testy today. Why are you so testy?
Well,
Huh?
once they've shed them, they don't want them anymore. They're like, ew, garbage.
I think someone fed her after midnight. Of course, I switched the camera. Now I need to switch it back. That's typical. Let's see. What are you doing up there, girl? Whoops. Come on, camera. Adjust, would you? Let's see. We have Jasmine with us today. We have Babaloo. Mander, you've already seen. And then we have Pippa. And Cause. And Cecil. And who are you back there, Lucy? Is that Lucy? That's Lucy. Don't bang me on the head, thank you. And then Sugar.
Oh, we got a fun crew.
We do, and we have a lot of chatters coming in. So I guess I start to greet them. Let's start with the first. Bhakti Shah was the first here, saying, beautiful family, love you so much, and Jasmine, beautiful. So thank you for that. We will tell Jasmine that she has a fan, and thanks for coming by. We're happy to have you. Then Kristen and Kelly Cockatoo are here, and suggesting that Sassie's new name should be Sassy.
Yeah, she's certainly sassy.
Yeah, that is actually a good second name for her, I guess. Then we have our Triton fan, Colin Thurston here, greeting Hey Ho Birdios. Welcome.
Yeah, hello.
Angel's Life is here, saying hi everyone, and did anyone find out about April? We will talk about that a little if you like to then, but I go on with greeting first because we also have Spirit Matter here. Greeting from Washington, D.C. Oh, that's interesting. So, greetings to Washington, D.C. And then we have Fakitsu here. Greetings, Chatter, Maud, Dawn, and Hooligan. Who could she mean by hooligans? We just have little angels here.
Yeah, there are no hooligans. They're all perfect.
Yeah, there's a hooligan right there.
But hello,
Oh,
everyone.
Mander,
Nice to see you.
Bob, come here. Come here. Come on. Come down.
I love Shuggy's look. She looks a little sulky.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Mander, it was just Bob coming over. He wasn't doing anything to you, you silly.
And now we get a Jessie
Hi,
song.
Jazz. Jazzy song? A jazzy song? Beautiful song, Jasmine. That's a jazzy song. Thank you. Beautiful song. You have to do some singing after all the irritating you've been doing. She's been irritating other birds like crazy today. Right? What? What's on that jazzy mind? What's on that jazzy mind, huh? Mander, you can come down here. I don't think that Cause is going to eat you. Ah, quack, 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 quack. You doing your chicken thing? Oh, I see you got some water out here. Yeah.
Amanda chicken. And a sassy chess word.
Well, she's got that look. If you don't pet me, I'm going to do something evil. Aren't you?
So
Aren't you?
Spirit Matters parakeets are listening. We are always
Cool.
happy to hear from people that the birds are listening or watching too. And then we have Lisa joining us. So welcome, Lisa Banerjee.
Hello, Lisa. Oz, can you say hello? You can say hi, cockatoo. Say hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. No, I'm just going to vibrate your tongue. Hi, cockatoo. He seems to be doing fine now, so. Don't you? Your poop looks normal. She's a little low weight in the morning, but she gains it all back at night, so. Doing all right, huh? Had some intense days there, feeding you food and stuff. Yeah, we there was a post from April basically saying she's recovering and that she will be back eventually, but she's going to recover first. That's basically the tone of the message. So
And I think she's got her mum with her and she's got her birds with her, so it's all okay on that front. But we shouldn't expect really any posts for a while, I think, is the implication.
no, and if you do try to contact her, which I don't know how much she's paying attention to her right now because she's recovering, just say get well, something like that. Keep it short. Don't go into long questionnaires about what's going on or anything. Wouldn't be the right time for that. Yeah, if we wanted to irritate her, we'd send Cecil over there. Well, actually, he wouldn't irritate her, but
I think it
Cecil
was
has a
Manda who was the one who took a dislike to April for some
yeah.
reason. Why on earth anyone would dislike April, I don't know, but that's Manda for you.
I'm guessing it was because she wore sunglasses. There's something about not being able to see a predator's eyes. That's my guess because he's got a thing about what you wear, and you can't wear a hoodie, you can't wear it over your head anyway. You can't wear a baseball cap, can't carry a beer. I mean, there's a number of things you can't do. So it might have
I
been
can't wear
that.
big headphones either, I think.
Hmm.
Can't wear big headphones either.
Oh no, no. Oh, I've got, I've got a cheap set of headsets that work really well to cut sound out, and you can listen to a podcast or something with them too. But you put those on, and he's just sitting there like, I just wish I could get a hold of you and then eat you for dinner. No, he's gone back to his safe spot.
Our Amanda cutie.
He's been doing well lately. He's been wanting out more often, and he's making a
Maybe you
bigger mess.
read The Little Witch to him, Amanda.
Yeah, yeah.
Don and I, we talked about a book called The Little Witch. It's actually from a German author, Otto Kreuzler, so it might not be known to much of you guys, but it's an absolute classic children's book, but also fun and interesting for adults. And we talked about it because today is the Walpurgisnacht, so Walpurgia night. I'm not sure if there's an English term for it. Where all
Yeah, we
the
just call it Walpurgis night.
Oh, cool. Where all the witches meet on the very famous Blocksberg to dance. And it's actually a really cute story around that in the book.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I would love to read. When I was taking German, I was into the Grimm's fairy tales and E.T.A. Hoffman tales and things like that. So I love those kind of stories.
I
What you
think
doing
Jasmine
there?
would look very cute in a little witch's outfit. And Cosy could
She,
be the witch's familiar.
I think we can get a hat like that. I think they make them small enough to fit her. Today she could definitely be wearing it because something's got into her. That's for sure. Now she's chewing on something. So chewing on that palm leaf toy rope.
And Sugar would be the glamorous witch who doesn't do any of the actual broomstick flying.
No, no, no. She's more into telling you not riding the broomstick right. That's more of a Sugar kind of thing. I had to move, Bob. I'm sorry if it bothered you. It's sitting on my shoulder. The crew, we're definitely getting a bigger crew out here. I'm going to start working on getting Romeo out. I'll have to get him out by himself. I've got him about halfway here, but he starts panicking when he gets to the door. It's like I don't want to go outside, so
Well, that's funny because he likes it when he actually gets there, but it's just getting him to there.
yeah, that's kind of like Lucy, where you go to take Lucy out and she runs from you, and I wiggle my fingers in front of her face, and she chases my fingers, and then I put my hand out and she steps out. That's how I get her out here. And then when she's out, she's fine. She loves it, but getting her out of that cage. I can get Romy out of the cage, but he likes to do that at a specific time of night in a certain way. If you break that routine, he might get scared and bite. The only time he bites is when he's afraid. So
If only we
he's
could
been.
just teleport his cage into the aviary with him in it. That would be perfect.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to William Shatner about that. See if we can arrange that. But the problem with teleportation is that people don't think about is that we're not really standing still. We're moving on a planet that's spinning through space and it's rotating at the same time. And then the whole universe is moving too, so we're not really standing still when we think we are.
As long as it's relative. As long as
Yes.
the destination and the departure are relative to each other, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just that when you're doing that with the transporter, how do you make it relative? You know, I'd probably come out looking like Bob. I might come out looking like Bob.
Oh, there's worse ways to look.
Yeah, he's a pretty cute boy, aren't you? Aren't you, Bob?
Can I come out looking like Arnold?
I'm not sure you'd want to come out looking like Arnold, but
I mean, like peak Arnold, not like. I mean, he doesn't look bad now.
no, for someone his age, he's in amazing shape. But I was in pretty good shape when I was young, but oh, well, that sure went to hell. That sure went bye bye.
Yeah,
Right,
I've never been
Cause?
in shape. Well, I have a shape. It's not a particularly desirable shape. That's the thing.
No, we come in various and sundry shapes. It'd be boring if we all looked alike. That's hard to believe. When I was young, I could run for 20 minutes and not even get out. I wouldn't even affect my wind. I'd stop running. It was like I hadn't been running. My lungs were. I had great capacity in my lungs. Probably helped me for today because I'm around all this dust all the time. Made my lungs stronger, but
Well, I got on the scales today and was horrified by what I saw, so I'll have to hit the gym, I think. It's all this sitting around at home and eating junk food and singing baby songs. It makes you chubby.
yeah, I put it there for you, Bob. I stuffed some paper in that one pocket so he could get it. Now he's all happy. I stole it. Well, when I worked out for 2 hours, and I never had more than 50 seconds between each set, each repetition. So I would do like for 6 weeks, I would do upper, lower, upper, and during the week you do upper, lower, upper, and then you keep alternating, then lower, then upper, and then you have one day off where you just run, and I just did it like that, and then I would switch to where I would do the really heavy weights, and then I'd do instead of 8 or 10 reps, I would do 6, 4,
I
and
believe
2
this is
heavyweight.
what's called bro splits, I think.
Huh?
I think this is called bro splits in modern gym goers parlance, I think.
Yeah, I have my own gym at home though, so I didn't because you're in the gym, people talk to you, and you can't work out when people are talking to you. So. But there's somebody working his tongue out, a Cecil bird. We're going to talk about habits today. That's without habits, where would we be if you're going to tie your shoes and you don't have the habit to do it? It's an adventure. You have to go through the whole process of figuring out how to do it every time. So we as humans come up with certain habits, and that's the way we do things. Hi Bob. He's really enjoying the toy I gave him.
Oh, Bob is doing a great job in covering you in pieces of paper and probably trying to fill your pockets with it.
He stole it from my pocket, but
Oh,
I left it there for him to steal.
Pull it out, rip it up, and stuff it back in, hoping you won't notice.
He does that too, good boy. So habits.
You should hide a never-ending chain in your pockets. So he pulls and pulls and pulls.
That would be fun to do. When I was younger, I was a little amateur magician, and I could make it so he would just keep pulling like a scarf out of my pocket. But
Would Bob do the cat thing with toilet paper, roll of toilet paper, like completely unroll it within 2 minutes?
no, he gets bored.
Okay.
I give him a keyboard though; he'll take all the keys off of it. But it doesn't take him terribly long. He knows just how to pull them off. So they just come off quick, one after the other.
He's so
Sounds kind of like
skilled.
a machine. Sounds like a machine gun fire, actually, when he starts taking the keyboard apart. Yeah, so we have these habits, and you probably have developed habits dealing with the bird to make your birds to make sure that you get them their food on time and all that. And if you got more than one bird, you probably go to the same bird every morning and then do that. Well, what I try to do is reverse that. So I'll start one way and give them their food and the water, mostly in bottles now, but I still have a few of them that I have to give water. So I will go one way one time, one way another, and then I'll sometimes just break it all and start in the middle and work out. So they don't just get used to the idea that it's always going to be the same because they get bored too. Right, Bob? What? What? That's Cause. You know Cause. He preened her yesterday. Didn't he? He preened you, didn't he? Yeah, he did. So, with habits, it's good to create some positive rituals, but not necessary to do them exactly the same every day, but or at the same time. But you can make it a ritual of bringing toys out at a, and then just do it at different parts of the day. Do it in different. Maybe sit down and play with the toy a little bit with one of your birds, and then put it in their cage. But vary it a little bit. But you still have a routine of bringing a toy out and making a big deal out of it. Positive rituals, little positive rituals. You bring out millet, right? You set it on the table, and then you talk to them, and of course, don't do that with these guys. You can do that with Jasmine, but the rest of them will go like, "What's that?" They won't eat. They won't eat it. They won't even touch it. Jasmine's the only one that eats millet, but you find that out when you buy a big box of it, and then you end up having to throw most of it away. But and little rituals like you're going to sit down and you're going to work on the computer. You bring the bird over on a perch, or if they're the kind of bird you can sit on your shoulder, you set them there. I say the kind of bird you can sit on your shoulder. Most birds, if you work with them right, you can get them on the shoulder, and they're not going to be a problem. But some of them don't like you concentrating on a computer, that kind of thing. So they'll start like pulling your ear or pulling your hair to get your attention. I said pulling your hair. No, she's ignoring me. Sugar, I mentioned you. Yeah. She's the one that pulls your hair to get attention. But she won't sit on you, except if she's really desperate, and that's pretty rare. She'll get close to you, but she won't actually sit on you. So come up with some rituals, little rituals you can do. They can be something simple, like walking over and handing a treat at different parts of the day, or handing them a small foot toy at certain times of the day, or taking them out and just taking them for a quick walk around the house or something in an aviator harness, I would hope. But it helps to develop some trust, and it certainly improves their well-being and calms them down when they see that you might be coming in there to do something special with them. And of course, there's the training thing too. They all like to be trained. Once you get into a habit of doing it, they like the training part because it's a communication exercise. Really, you're communicating with your bird. They're learning about you, and you're learning about them, and you're trying to teach them something, and they're manipulating you. It works that way, right, Bob? Babaloo, Babaloo, Babaloo. Cosmo. Hey guys. Hey guys. You can see her vision is not terribly good. I wiggle a finger in front of her eye, and almost nothing happens. She's got blurred vision, but who knows why, huh, baby? It's not cataracts or anything like that.
Poor little Gussie. Oh, she's a good girl there.
She is a good girl. She comes out here. She expects to come out here now too. She looks at me like, "You're taking me out, right?" Hmm? Don't get wound up now. She's moving her tongue a little bit. You gotta be careful when she starts doing that, because then she'll start vibrating. No vibrating. No vibrating.
None of that hanky-panky in the aviary.
I think the hardest thing about the habits is not to be predictable, because can you imagine if you tried to tie your shoes different ways every time? It's just you'd have problems. So we tend to just repeat things over and over again. Another good example of that is doctors. Well, they have another word for it, right? They call it protocol, but really what it is a habit. So, and you might, if you pay attention to yourself, you may notice that when you go to the cage to change the water and food, you're doing it just out of habit. You're not really thinking about what you're doing. You're just doing it, right? So you have to occasionally break that routine and try doing it a different way. If you usually put the food in, then the water, just even slightly change it. Put the water in first and then put the food in. If you put the food in and then talk to your bird, reverse it. Talk to the bird and then put the food in. I mean, just start making some little changes. It's quite helpful. Um, and when you break your predictability, you become more interesting to the bird too. To the bird, what bird? Cos bird? A Cosmo bird? A Cosmo bird? Really? You are a cos? Okay. And I don't know if you've noticed, but your birds definitely crave novelty, changes, things. You know, it depends on the bird and the species, but they once they get with a cockatoo, they don't usually have to get used to it, but some birds have to get used to something new in their environment. But it's always good to surprise them with something new, and just if you're doing it to an Amazon, just don't surprise them by sticking something in their face. Um, Most of these guys, if I do that with them, they'll just like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that? It doesn't set them off. But yesterday the wind was blowing like crazy. Today it's a little warmer, and the trees, there isn't a breath of air out there. Well, a tiny breath. I can feel a little bit of motion. But this is usually when we start to get the wind. No. Now, which brings up a story of mine. A friend of mine he was in England and he was drinking at a pub, and he'd been drinking Smithies, and he says, "Oh, well, what the heck? Give me a Budweiser." And the guy next to him looks at him and he goes, "Oh, I wouldn't do that. That'll give you wind."
Was it an Irish pub that he was at?
No, but I never know what accent's going to come out of my mouth when I speak. So, no, he was somewhere in England. I don't know exactly where. He was a strange guy, though. He'd order stuff because he liked the name of it. Because it didn't sound right or didn't sound good if you were an American. It had a kind of an off-color flair. So he would ask for food by that name.
I feel like that's most of the stuff in Britain, though. Slightly off colour to an American.
Well, they're kind of stuck in their ways. Up the wind. There we go. I mentioned Budweiser, and now we have wind. Imagine that. It's magical. I don't think that's the kind of wind he was talking about, but that's the idea. It gets a little cooler in here when we have a wind. So switching up the feeding order, introducing a little play at a time where you normally don't do it. These are all little things you can do. Change how you enter the room. Come in with a Groucho Marx mask on your face. Well, maybe not. But, put a party hat on or something. And then Mander will try to kill you. Every bird's going to react differently, but it will give them a different reaction, right? And this will help to prevent boredom. But it's good to have habits. You got to have the habit of feeding them every day, but it doesn't have to be in the same order. And you could bring them maybe once a week, bring them a treat before you bring them their main food. I wouldn't do that every day, because then they won't eat their regular food. But what I'm saying is just switch it around. They eat their food and you give them a treat. That's the way we usually do it. We give them treats, but once in a while, break that routine. Bob likes that routine broken by artichokes. And it's his favorite treat, an artichoke. Although he does like his nutriberries. He gets a couple of nutriberries every day, so. And he counts on them, too. If I ever ran out, I'd be in trouble. It was like running out of sunflower seeds. That was fun. Because there was a worldwide shortage on sunflower seeds. I couldn't get any in the shell. I found one place that had them, already shelled, roasted but not salted, and I bought a bunch of those and vacuum sealed them. I just got some in the shell, but they're definitely not the same. They're not the same quality. They're from the same place, but it's almost like they roasted them too long. But the birds don't mind. They're eating them, so they're human grade. They're not the bags of sunflower seeds they sell for giving to birds in the wild. But gesundheit. So, hey, watch it, dipstick. Yeah, my elbow came down too fast, and he took his beak and pushed against my hand. You're a good bird. You're a good Bob. You're a good bird. So if you're going to build a habit of adding a little variety to things, just a little difference. I don't think giving them the sunflower seeds without the shell was the kind of variety they were looking for, but I gave them to them before I ran out too, so they were getting both. So at least they would kind of get the idea. But I tried hand feeding them. It was like, where's the shell? They weren't going for it. But when I ran out of the ones in the shell, they grudgingly started eating them. So what are you doing with that? You rolling it up? Yeah, just rolling the end up. Bob, excuse me, cause I gotta find where I put the. Bob, I wish you'd left me some of these that were still. Left me some paper that wasn't. You're splattering today, Bob. You're splattering a little bit. I know, you don't mean to. Hi, Rosebud. I see you're in there. I can't see everything, but I saw you pop up. Don't change the furniture around. Yeah, that can be a big issue, boy. Sometimes they don't like that at all. But small changes, adding things to the room, that kind of thing. When you're going to change the furniture around, plan it out and do it all at once and take the fallout. I know there are people who move them from cage to cage. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it because I couldn't move Cecil. He can't leave that cage. He'll take apart any other cage. He doesn't try to take this apart, and this is pretty well built, but it does have some welds that are bead welded. But I mean, if he really wanted to, he could start breaking the bars on this. But he's not out here alone enough to do that. So just think about it. What you can vary, what you can change just a little bit. Be good for you too, because it'll get you out of the rut of just come in, you give them their food and water, you do things in a routine, you leave, you go. Just try to change that. Stop. Think about it. What can I do to change this just a little bit? And then come back and tell us what that did for your bird. How your bird appreciated that, or didn't. Cause. I know, Pippa. There's no humidity. I know.
Oh, Pippa, you're so sweet when you sneeze, but I wish there were more humidity.
Yeah, she gets out here and she starts sneezing a lot.
Bless the bit.
So we have two more chatters. It's Jocelyn Triggle and Rosebud Atkins. So welcome from me. Great, you're both here.
Welcome.
Hello. This is the one. I wish I could move his cage because it's not in the easiest place to clean. Yeah, thank you, Bob. You're laughing at me now. Um, and he will fight me when I'm trying to clean his cage. And then right across from him is Lorelai, and she'll try to get me too. So they team up on me. What? What's that all about, Bob? Bob, it's about Babalu.
Oh, yes, such a sweet voice. Hey, Bob. Is Bob a good boy?
Hello, hello, Cecil. Hello,
Hey, Bob.
hello, 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 hello. He was whispering hello there. So, hello. I heard you over there. Hello. Bob, I know you can say hello. 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 Whoop. Sorry, Kai. Hello. Cecil. Hello. 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 Bob. Bob. Hey. Well, I had him going there until Bob started yelling. Bob. Bob. Babaloo.
You know, everyone that isn't Cecil thinks, what does Don want from us? What are we supposed to say?
Yeah, that's funny that with the rest of the birds, they know who you're talking to, so they don't react unless you're talking to them usually. But he said hello a couple of times. Almost started. He said it louder, but not quite loud enough. A little louder would be good. Hello, Cecil. Hello. Nope, he's helloed out. So if you start thinking about the habits that you've got and how you can modify them just slightly to make life more interesting for you and the birds, you'll see a change. Usually it's a good change. Sometimes they'll go off the rails a little bit, but if you come out dressed like a court jester, they might not like that. You don't know. You might even get them to say something you don't expect. You might have someone like Cos look at you and go, "Oh, what do you think you're doing in traditional dress?" I have gotten some comments from unexpected comments. My favorite one is what Murray said to me that day when I brought home two cockatoos, which I can't repeat. And she only said it once. So, hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. Can you say hi, cockatoo? Hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo.
Hi, cockatoo. I think she loves it when you say it.
Uh-oh. Ha ha.
Oh, Cecil again.
Beautiful song. Yeah, he's in a talking mood. Hello. You can see it on his face. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Bob. Hello. Hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. Hey, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. Hey, cockatoo. That, you won't say it for anything, will you? You used to say hi, cockatoo a lot.
She said it the other day, I think, didn't she?
Yeah, you used to say it almost every day, and now it's like the proverbial pulling teeth. You want Val Kilmer here. Hey, Doc Holliday, see if you can get her to say hi, cockatoo.
Yeah, she'll say it when she's good and ready. Hi,
Sometime
cockatoo.
next, sometime next year. Hi, cockatoo.
Hi,
Maybe
cockatoo.
somebody of you could say hi, Jim and Jamie, because she just entered our chat and admitted that she had a green poncho on one time and her cockatoo hated it.
How to what?
So, green poncho?
Oh,
How do you say it to Poncho? In
Yeah,
German, we
yeah,
say
poncho.
poncho. That's it,
poncho.
poncho. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there are things Bob. Well, there's something Bob likes. If I take it off, he'll try to eat my face. It's called my glasses. If I take my yeah, I just look at his face. Bob, look at the feathers on the back of his neck go up. I take off
Oh
my
my.
glasses. Yeah, he does not like my face. Not without the glasses.
Bubba there.
And
Babalu.
Rosebud tells us that her dogs hate her wearing a hat. Animals.
Mm.
Well, with dogs, it's it kind of makes sense because they can't recognize human faces. So you do something like that, it just looks. Where you wear a hat, it can look just plain weird to them, and they can't recognize you by anything but smell. So you smell right, but there's something wrong with this picture. You know,
Well,
parrots don't go by the sense of smell. So
my budgies don't like me wearing long sleeve, black and dark colors in general, and nail polish. That's evil, pure evil. They will ignore me if I ever have nail polish on.
Oh, the audacity.
Hmm.
yeah, it's funny what they don't like. I haven't. Sugar doesn't seem to have a reaction to anything I wear. She has a reaction to if I try to bring her like an extra treat and it's not that time of day. She'll jump back like I'm trying to like hit her with a baseball bat or something. Well, no, that's the wrong time. I don't want that. she'll do that. Hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. Oh, you'll squawk, but you won't say hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo.
You do a cute head bob.
She's got the cutest head bob here, that's for sure. Don't you, baby?
Oh, you're a lovely girl, Cozy. Cozy Cosmo.
Cosmo's odd. She doesn't like toys. I've tried everything. I can't. She just won't play with toys. Once in a while, she might chew on a finger trap or something, but I think part of it is she can't see them. You can't make out what it is, but
What happens if you physically try to put a toy in her beak?
she just looks at you with that look of hers, which is kind of like she can't see you anyway. She looks at you like, "What are you doing?"
Hmm.
She doesn't really react to it. You can try playing with her. You put her, sit her down on a table with you or something like that. Put toys there. Now, I know her favorite toy was Simone. She used to rip Simone's feathers out. They used to do that to each other. Barbering was where you pull the feathers of another bird out. So this is what she likes to do mostly. Just sit. Getting her to do anything else is not easy, right, Cause?
She
Sometimes we
likes
can
to
get you to.
she likes to
Hmm?
hang out, and then once in a while she likes to attack.
Yeah, she seems to be over that at the moment. Oh yeah, did you hear the word attack? Yeah, you did, huh? She hasn't done that since I brought her out here. I know if I take her in the socialization room, I got problems because I've tried that. But the same way, she is like Bob in the socialization room. Doesn't want any other birds in there with her.
Yeah, she's just lulling you into a false sense of security. She'll go full attack helicopter one of these days.
Speaking of attacks, you remember how Pippa was, how I was having to restrain Pippa, all the funny positions I had to put her in to keep her from.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as we were done, she went over and sat over there and just chilled out. And then she came over and said hello and stuff. Wandered around, didn't do any more. That was it. She was done. That
You're your
whole time we
perfect
were doing.
angel now, Pip.
Well, yeah, she was. She was a perfect angel after we got off the live stream. But it did give people an idea of how you can restrain them without hurting them.
Well, she's got a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, her favorite food is lady fingers. So real ladies' fingers. And for some reason, when somebody they get the idea to stick a finger in a cage, it's almost always they try sticking their finger in her cage. I can do it, but I don't recommend anybody else try that. Right, Pep? A pep, 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 pep. A pep, pep. Oh, you didn't poop on me this time. What? Well, I don't understand. Usually you poop on me. Why is that?
What if you stick a rubber hand in her cage?
Hmm.
Would that bamboozle her?
I don't think so because they see into the ultraviolet. I'd have to microwave it and get it hot first.
Or maybe she'd think, oh, thank you, you've brought me a severed human hand as tribute.
Maybe. I don't know. She's gotten quite a few people, and there's a warning on her cat. I have to put the warning back up. It came off, but it warns people, and then they're like, "Can I put my finger in the cage? What does it say?" You Sprechen Sie English? Yeah. She just treats me like I'm the best, the best thing on the planet, and I have no idea why. I
It was
don't
love at
understand
first
Pippa.
sight.
It was. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. This is not the Pippa you saw last time, right? I mean, this is an imposter. This isn't Pippa. Night Pip. She's odd when you talk about different things they like. I have to open the cage door and reach in her cage. If I don't pet her, she just sits there and sulks. I mean, you can. She has this horrible look on her face, like you didn't pet me. What's wrong with you? You have to pet her, and then I mean, it's not like I mind doing it. Obviously, I like doing it, but if you're in a hurry and you're just acting out of habit and you don't look, she's going to get upset, and then you have to do her whistle back at her. Pet her and tell her she's a good girl. Bob, yes, you're a good boy. He's yanking on my shirt. Don't forget there's a Bob down here. Don't forget about the Bob. Diesel, he's a machine. I've got to keep him busy. If I don't, on top of everything else, I have to make toys. If I don't have, if he rips up his toys in an hour and he doesn't have a toy in his cage, then he's going to be trying to figure out how he can bust the bars. That's his next. If he's got nothing else to do, he'll do that. KK's a little better. KK screams. He gets on the cage and he just starts screaming. And I go over. I don't even have to go over anymore. I'll just say, "Okay, KK, I'll bring you a foot toy." Because usually it's a foot toy you want. Sometimes it's a hanging toy. If I can't get to him right away, he'll try to take the water dispenser. He'll try to pry that off the cage. If you're watching, they're communicating. And Lucy, if I'm in the middle of the room doing something else and I see she's looking at me, she wants me to start talking to her. So I'll start talking to her and she throws her head back and starts shaking it like Cause does. She just wants to be acknowledged. And what's going on in your head back there, Mander?
That's the question for the ages, isn't it? What goes on in Mander's head?
He's such a good boy, but he's a difficult one to figure out. Today it wasn't too hard to cajole him out of his cage. They were going outside, Mander. Come on, Mander, let's go. And then he stepped up. But I can get him. If I have to do nails, I can just there's a certain way I say it. Mander, nails, like that. And he'll come right out. But when I say we're going outside, sometimes he will. The socialization room is, 1 out of 3. But they aren't hassling him back there anymore. But he still remembers the times he was hassled, I guess.
We love him just how he is, though.
Oh, yeah. He's a funny one. His cage is hard to clean because he makes such a mess around it. He chews up cardboard all day long and pine cones when I have them. We're almost out again, but Yeah, he got 100 pine cones, and he goes through 2 a day. They don't last that long. Some of the other birds get them too, so. But one pine cone only lasts him 5 minutes anyway. You give him a big pine cone, and it's gone in 5 minutes. Where did that go? He should be on stage as a magician. I'll have to record that sometime. It looks like he's moving, and looks like you've sped up the camera when you if you were to take a video, it would look like you sped up the camera because it's just boom, it's gone. But he loves doing it. Cardboard lasts a little longer. So he'll get a lot of our cardboard boxes, but you got to make sure you take off. That sticky tape isn't so bad, but when you get the tape that has the fiberglass in it, it's the paper tape. You can't have that. You got to cut that off the box completely because it has fiberglass in it. And then some of that goes to Romeo because Romeo's the odd one out. He has to have a box, otherwise he doesn't do anything. He'll just sit in his cage and play with toys. And if you give him a box, he'll play with toys, and then he'll get in the box and he gets all excited about making a nest. So he's no more aggressive from doing that than he was before. So it's each bird's a little different. Bob, some birds are a lot different. Some birds like Babaloo, they're a lot different. You hiding? What are you doing? So try coming up with some new habit patterns and moving things around, and let me know how that works for you guys. It's fun doing that with Sugar. You change anything and she starts giving you looks. She's got some great patented looks there too. Just who do you think you are? Oh. Yeah, you know what? I said Sugar, didn't I? Did I say Sugar? Did I say Sugar? Come on up, Bob.
Maybe we need to play the whining video to her. Sugar likes, obviously, to listen to herself.
She does. Maybe we'll go out with the whining video. Thank you for being here, hanging out with us, and thank you, Amy and Eleanor, for moderating. And don't forget, we do have merchandise out there, some cute birds and some cute stuff. Amy's done some miraculous things at Cafe Press.
And thank you,
Right?
Run Birdies, for the stream.
It's our pleasure indeed. And if I can flip this around, I can get into the media assets. And that's my foot. Do not eat my foot, Bob. Do not do it.
Hi. 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 Hi.
science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
Of the Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a nonprofit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.